Hey there guys, we've got the final bosses now available on the JP server for the Final Fantasy VII Vision World. So I'm going to be knocking them out in this video. So let's start with Rufus. He is a physical or magical fight, weak to fire, lightning, light, and dark. It's a human. So we're going to be taking this party and letting Knights of Grand Shout carry basically. We need something like 2.1 billion to damage cap. Should be relatively doable with the team we're using. The boss does status effects, damage over time, and some fixed AoE. It's relatively small damage, so I think we're going to be fine, but we'll see. Alright, so to start off, during the preemptive, or ignore that, we're going to go ahead and stack up Knights of Grand Shout. We're also going to put up a bigger Greatsword in Peril with Dark Knight Cecil. We're just going to guard Shadow and Onion Knight. Aerith will put up, let's see, Shell Protect, Human Killer, and Holy Imbue. And Jesse will just do an 85% break from one of the breaker materials like, Thulian, Edge, etc. So here's the fixed damage, relatively small, and then a damage over time also. There you go. Actually, that might not be a damage over time, but whatever. So we're going to go ahead and Tybus STMR Knights of Grand Shout. They've been stacked up. We'll just guard these two again. We'll break with her. We'll LB with you. We'll shift Cecil. And we're going to use him to Omni cover, as well as we're going to fill some LB gauge for the party so that we can do Knights of Grand Shout again next turn. And we Omni cover that, so there we go. Also, we've got the LB damage filled up with Cecil, so we should hopefully damage cap here. If we do, great. If not, big sad face. So let's find out. And I'm going to start the chain with Aerith just to make sure we're at max chain modifier. Okay, so we're going to do this. That actually looked really tight. So we're going to see if that was a damage cap. That might not have been. Oh, 2.17. Wow. That was almost not a damage cap. It worked, though, so whatever. But, ooh, that was really close. Yeah, that was, like, right on the edge. What is the exact to-the-point damage cap? 2,061,000,000. So we did about 1.7 million more than we needed. So 1.8 more than we needed. No. 1.2. 100. I don't know. We did slightly more than we needed. Whatever. The point is we perfect scored. But that was barely a damage cap. Anyway, time to build a party for the next boss. So see you in a moment for this machine-looking dude. See you in a sec. Alright guys, next up we've got the machine guy. This is a physical or magic fight, weak to ice, lightning, water, and wind. It's a machine, like I mentioned, so we're going to be using Titus. And kind of interesting, it's the return of the break gauge. So, we're going to bring someone to break the gauge. The gauge is weak to great swords, rods, or great swords, rods, and staves. So we're going to use Savior Lightning with her rod break to do it. So we're going to use Titus to stack his LB. We're going to use Runda to imperil the boss. We're going to use Yish to big break plus machine killer. We're going to use Nicole to water imbue and 100% amp on Titus. We're going to use Cecil to shift here, and we're going to do Shell +3. We're not going to Omni yet. We're going to resist buff, and we're going to regular cover. Savior on this turn is guard. Alright. Some attacks, not really worried about that. Alright, Titus this turn will use his mod boost. Runda will just limit. Yish can literally just guard. Nicole can shift here and LB buff. Cecil is now going to Omni cover. Did I resist buff? Well, whatever we did anyway. And then Savior is going to break the gauge with Rod Break. Okay. And because we've got the gauge break passive learned on Bahamut, Titus will do actually a lot of bonus damage. Kind of a nice thing. We're going to use our support chain stuff like usual. Let's guard you. And let's hope for the best. We need 4 billion. We did exactly 4 billion. Let me double check that I did. Yeah, 4.037. So we should have been good here. 4.037. Oh my god. We are riding the edge on both of these bosses. Wow. But perfect score. Yeah, we definitely needed the Bahamut break node for that. And again, I probably could have like added extra DPS units, but like whatever. And I'll show you the gear real quick. And I forgot to show the gear for the previous fight. I'll like briefly show it. And then the final boss is the dragon-looking dude. But we'll come back to him in a minute. So the gear on this party is, let's see, mana reduction Nicole with blue wave, shift form, same thing. Cecil, base form, blue wave, shift form, blue wave, a lot of resist. I really should give him a weapon, honestly. Well, whatever. We'll come back to that. Savior is just using dual wielded rods, so she can break the gauge. That's all she's here for. Yish is just using Scarlet Wave. She is here for her 88% breaks and a 150 machine killer. Runda is just passive provoke evasion, also using triple cast bolting to chain. And then Titus, shift form, is maxed machine, maxed LB, using a thrower. And there we go. That was the build for that team. And if you're curious about the team for the Knights of Grand Shout team that we did the previous fight, Jesse, passive provoke, LB fill with Edge's TMR. Aerith, just literally whatever, some bulk. Cecil, whatever, shift form, some resistance, some bulk. 10,000 spirit when I actually give him a weapon. My other Cecil was not using a weapon. Kind of dumb. Whatever. Multi-element chaining support, just some bulk. Multi-element chaining with just some bulk. I just hit auto gear on these guys and they just, geared whatever. And I forgot to, whoops. He's dual wielding. Big mistake. Or whatever. Knights of Grand Shout in the shift form is status immune and, LB damage versus, what was this, the previous boss? Human. He's not max human killer. That was a mistake. Well, whatever. It worked. Anyway, let's go to the final boss. Hey there, guys. So the final boss of the Final Fantasy VII Vision World is Whisper Bahamut. Like I mentioned in a previous video, this Vision World is not shared rank 1, meaning, I'm not going to sweat the final boss too much. There is no damage cap. Hit it as hard as you can, fight against the whales, and have fun, because I don't have Cloud, I don't have any other big hitters. We're going to be just taking, Titus and Knights of Grand Shout, and doing the best we can, and early warning, this is going to be a bad score. So it's an undead fight, even though it looks like a dragon, it's actually undead. Weak to nothing, except, physical or magic. It does magical damage, as well as dark and fire damage, a lot of non-elemental, and some fixed. So we're going to be using Cecil to be our magic tank, Yuna for undead killer. We're going to be doing Water Team with Nicole and buffing up Titus with his Amplify, 89 break with Hawkeye, while Titus does his cap and Knights of Grand Shout attempts to deal damage, but Knights of Grand Shout are incredibly power crept at this point, like really badly. But anyway, we're going to stack up Titus, we're going to stack up Knights, Hawkeye will break the boss, Nicole on this turn doesn't need to do anything, neither does Yuna. And then we will cover with and provoke with Cecil. So we will shell +3, provoke and cover. Okay, so we're gonna be killing on turn 4 because turn 4 is when Hawkeye auto casts his 89% break. All right, some magic damage on Cecil, and then he covers the rest. Whatever. Hawkeye, did I do my break? I did. So we can just guard here. Titus can do some power-ups to get ready for later. So can Knights of Grand Shout. We're going to start that 100 Amplify autocast on Titus. We'll imbue and imperil. Yuna can do Imperil for chaining later. Cecil can just refresh, cover, provoke, and whatever. Okay. Yeah, Nicole's 100% Amplify is kind of like, you know, Sylvie's and Chizuru's on Global. It's a 3-turn, like, auto-casting ramp, and by the 3rd turn, you're at 100% Amplify. Unfortunately, his is only single target, though. Alright, so Titus is going to Tybus' Spirit. I only own one Tybus' Spirit, so we're going to just whatever on Knight's Grandshout. Hawkeye can just guard again. Cecil's going to Omni Cover, because this turn the boss does fixed damage, so we're going to Omni Cover, and then just, you know, whatever. Yuna will LB for the Undead Killer, and Nicole will shift and LB for, you know, Water Amp for Knight's Grandshout, LB damage buff, etc. Okay. Some fixed damage here. It ignores cover, but obviously Omni Cover is the way to go. Alright, so we're going to LB these two. We're going to Blue Wave. We're going to Blue Wave. We're gonna Blue Wave, and Nicole will use his innate Blue Wave. Okay, so... And Titus does... damage is so bad! The boss has 2... is that billion? No, it's million. 2 million defense and spirit. So have fun with that. We did 1.9. Outstanding. Well... there it is. We'll see how we do by the end, I guess. All area clear. There is no damage cap, so do the best you can. And, I mean, I guess Knight's Grandshout wasn't that bad. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Okay, rank 552. Yeah, I'm not going to score well this month because I don't have any good... I don't have any good DPS units anymore. My only good DPS unit is Titus, and he's not even that good. Compared to newer units. And also, before anyone in the comments tells me, I am 1000% fully aware that Titus's base form does more damage. But the base form of Titus is absolute cancer to chain properly, and I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother. It's just a headache, and I hate it. So I'm going to use his shift form. I'm going to accept my lower damage, and I will not have headaches. Anyway, here's the party we used. So Yuna was just Blue Wave. She's a Undead Killer. She's got 160 AoE Undead Killer on her LB. Cecil, base form, which is for the field. Shift form is using 10,000 Spirit, some Dark and Fire Resist, and he is our Provoker. And then Blue Wave for support chaining. Knight's Grandshout has 8,000 attack power, maxed Undead Killer, maxed LB damage, etc. Chain cap up. There it is, and the Tybus' card because I don't have 2 copies of his own, which is fine. Nicole, mana reduction, and then he's using some Esper fill so we can do his triple bolting. Hawkeye, just an 89 break, bolting strike, Blue Wave. And then Titus is maxed Undead, maxed LB, 7,800 attack power because I don't have Orin's STMR on the JP server, and that really sucks. But anyway, here it is, and there it is, and there's my run. Okay, see you next time.